Thinking Game Podcast, episode, I think 133. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. Give everybody time who want to come in and catch us while we doing it live. I think John will be here in a minute. Shout out to Peel doing the event today. He'll probably be on the next one. But Thinking Game Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Got a few topics today. Probably won't be like super long, probably. But just been one of those weeks. Let me know in the comments how your week going so far. What kind of week you been having? A pretty long week. Trying to get school done. Trying to get the rest of these few little weeks out the way. Then I will have my 4-year degree completed. And then I can really study for this LSAT for law school in the future and really work on my time management. Now I get some more free time. Try to make more content around the free time that I get probably in December sometime. So, man, it's been a busy week. It's going to be a busy few weeks. So, what I want to ask out there is, what's your week looking like? How you liking this week? I know people still kind of salty about the election, and the thing that I thought, they always say it's more women than men in the free world, and the question is, if that's the case, there's got to be two possibilities, right? Has to be a possibility that all the women didn't vote for Kamala, and there's the other possibility it was like half and half. There's like the third possibility talking about somebody telling stories. Somebody didn't vote for her. Am I right? But enough of that. Just something to think about. Sometimes people, you see the crowd, you see the rah-rah, you see everybody behind you until you realize they not behind you. Just how the world works. It's hard to get a major buy-in sometimes. It's one of those things. So with that being said, welcome to the Thinking Game. Welcome. Hope you're having a great evening. Hope everything's going well for you. But let me know in the comments what your week looking like. What's some of the other news that I'm seeing before there was something else I saw that I think I wanted to talk about. And I think it was about LeBron and his son Bronny. People still hating on them. And it's like, man, just let it go, man. Dude wanted to get his son in the league. He pulled some strings. It happens. Happens to the best of us. If you had that kind of juice, you would use it too. But not everybody's keeping it real. Everybody wants to put their little 2 cents in, but everybody ain't keeping it real. So, getting into the podcast, we finna go ahead and get into the topics real quick. The first one I want to talk about is, do you know what your personality type is? Like, do you honestly know about yourself? This is a question you have to ask yourself. Do I know what my personality type is? Can I take honest criticism on what my personality type is? Am I being true to my personality type, or am I being a chameleon? I'm a chameleon. So Let me know in the comments. What's your personality type? We're gonna go over some of those here in a few minutes, based on the things I see on the internet. But before you start anything, in my opinion, you start learning skills. You start to work on your value before you even start your educational journey. After you graduate high school, you need to know what your personality type is. Are you an A type, B type, C type? Are you laid back? Are you more assertive? Are you more uptight? Are you a naturally organized person? Are you a naturally disorganized person? Some people call it organized chaos. What is your personality type? Before you get into a relationship with another person, you should know what your personality type is. If somebody asks you what's your personality type, I don't know, shouldn't be an answer. Now, do you have to give them like you like a SAT? You gotta give them everything down to a T. No, but you should have a general type of what your personality type is. And guess what? Some people, it's a lot of times people gravitate. I don't know why they just gravitate to the negative traits of your personality because everybody has traits that nobody likes. You may have a trait. You may be an agitator. You may be a thinker. I know I am a deep thinker. There are a lot of things that's a part of your personality in anybody that people may not like, and there are things that people will like. I think sometimes what you got to understand about life is that some of the things that people you may be in this circle and they may think that those traits are bad, but you go to another circle and those traits are good. Those are the traits that get you to the next level. And you have to ask yourself, why does this circle not like those traits, but this circle does? And which circle is am I going to benefit the most from as far as gaining value and being able to take care of my family? You got to factor those things in. But let me know in the comments what your personality type is. Let me know. Are you funny, humor, comedic kind of personality? Are you more OCD or what is it called, obsessive compulsive disorder? Like really like locked in or on a certain thing. Some people like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, does your personality match that? So let me know in the comments
Am I right?
what your personality type is. Because everybody got one, a personality. Whether you want to agree with it or not, everybody got one. So, do you know what your personality type is? And I got the different ones on here. I got if I can read that. Jay, what's going on?
What's going on, people?
Hold on. Let me switch over to the headphones real quick. Oh, it's okay. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on,
Yeah, I can
Jay?
hear you.
Man, how's your week, man?
Doing good, doing good. Pretty good, pretty good. Ooh, it's
I know,
almost
right?
over.
I know, right? Boy.
You
So,
want to
man, what
get
you
to the
think,
point where
man?
you look forward to the beginning of the week, but
Man,
I'm still waiting for it to be over. Living for the
what you think about that?
weekend.
What you think about this? Tell us about it. Do you know what your personality type is? How important is that in life? Knowing what your personality type is.
I think a lot of people really don't know it, or they don't have the words to articulate their personality or the proper definition of it. I know probably 90% of people don't, but and another probably 100% think their personalities attractive to others. Just their personality. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just the way they think. Um,
Yeah.
most people think they're different, but they're really the same. You fall into let's say, one of five categories. But everybody feels unique in their self and their
Boy.
personality. Nobody thinks like me. Nobody acts like me. You know, you're the only Dallas Cowboy fan. So,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't think a lot of people know their personality types
Or they think they're not
what
honest about it.
what they thrive in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of
So do
people
you,
preach peace, but they really love drama. They always in drama. You know what I mean? But they saying, "I just want my peace. I want to find this.
yeah.
I'm out the way."
Do you think that proximity kind of breeds a certain personality depends on the proximity that you're in or the area, the environment? Or do you think it would be that way even? Like if somebody grew up in the suburbs or something, or the heights versus somebody that grew up in Southwest, do you think it's just two different personalities or they're gonna be who they are regardless?
Well, I think proximity controls your actions, not necessarily your personality type. What you're able to do in different environments, I
Yeah.
think that affects it.
Yeah.
But your personality, not so much.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
people you're around affect your personality more. I think.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You know, you got a really dominant person around you. You know what I mean? Even though you're leader, you're dominant. If that person's more dominant, you're gonna fall into a follower
Yeah.
or a lesser kind of personality type. You know, because you don't have the
Yeah.
chance to lead or excel because you're not the strongest.
Yeah. So look at the different ones. You got um, openness. It said magical thinking. That's funny. Etrish. Oh, and flex. I should have made that bigger, but it would have been too big. I can't even see him a lot of it. It's neuroticism, your emotional liability, shamefulness. I think everybody has a little bit of these. Nobody's just like one particular thing. That's the thing about personality too. It's like a mixture. It's not just one particular thing.
Yeah, because you might
And
be one way in romantic relationships, you might be one way in
yeah,
school or work
yeah,
relationships, and then in your friend group, you're a totally different kind of person. You know what I mean? Because I can
yeah,
say Mike wild and crazy, and then you go to work, and it's like he's quiet and he's really reserved and things like that.
right,
And I can say
one hundred
you're
percent.
open, then you know your wife say, well, he's not really open, he's really closed off. So you know we all wear different hats in different times.
Yeah, that's true. But I think when you're in the hood, when you're a kid, it's almost like you have to be one way. It's almost like you think the mindset you have to be one way all the time till you get older and you realize it probably ain't it's true to that. It's hard to be true to that as you can once you get older, but I don't know. But all right,
Yeah,
go ahead.
for sure, it's true.
Go
And
ahead.
people want you to be that. Like, if you're a quarterback, you got to play the quarterback. Every time you step out that house, you got to be a quarterback. You know, what if you're a lineman? You're a right guard. You know what I mean? Every time you step out the house, they want you to play that right guard position. But you know what I mean? In your mind, in your house, in your relationship, you're the quarterback. But you know what I mean? The hood
Mhm.
or the situation you're in keeps pushing you back to that right guard position. You know, so and when you get older, you can create your own uh, team. You know what I mean? You play whatever position you're on. So I see that, like you were saying, getting older and creating your own personality and fitting into your own life. So
So, can you adapt or change your personality, or you think it'll always be that core of you?
I definitely think you can adapt, but your core don't change. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
some things you like, even if you're playing. you're always got to be your parents are coaching you to be outgoing and things like this. But you really like what you like to do. If you really like to be at a house with a good book, no matter how active or extroverted you kind of may be or may appear to be,
Yeah.
when you get home, your true self really craves to be an introvert. So I think that all core piece of that core personality always stay with you. That's just
Mm.
my opinion.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, I think this in different phases of your life, it'll like when you're single, your personality may be one way when you're single in 20 versus, in a settled or when you're in a committed relationship at 30 or something like that or married. Your personality probably either is gonna like layers gonna be more layers gonna be added to it, but it's not gonna be the same probably than when you was like 20 where you didn't have responsibilities, you didn't have a mortgage. You just say what you want to say, do what you want to do. But as you add responsibilities and stuff to your life, I think sometimes that kind of changes, your personality or add layers to it rather. So, but
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. Therapy as well.
Oh yeah, for
Discipline.
sure.
Like you know what I mean. My mama was messy. We're all messy, unorganized people. And then you say the same person go to the military for a couple of years, and they kind of more together with the discipline. You know what I mean. It's not all the way gone. They're still a little bit messy. You know what I
So, do
mean.
you
But
think people are hustling therapy and mental health, or do you think it's something that's really needed? Because some people we knew that grew up that probably need it. It seems like they're actually pretty straight now. It's just maybe I don't know. Sometimes it seems like if I had did a percentage, it seemed like therapy, it seemed like his hustle like on the 60% or something. Because it seemed like if you look at everybody that grew up in the inner city, everybody dealing with something mental. I mean, because it's not normal things that's happening. You know what I'm saying? And but it seemed like now it's so prevalent. But man, this stuff been happening for years. You know what I'm saying? Even before we was born. But I always just think about that when I see a lot of stuff pushing it, and it's like therapists like most people can't even afford a therapist. If you actually go by like in median income or whatnot, I think I was watching Shannon Sharp. They was arguing about a dude who faked his death with his family, and he got a insurance check for like 350K and tried to
yeah.
move to Europe or something like that. And Chad thought he could live off that for a while, and Shannon was like, "No, you can't live off that for a long time. 375K, not a lot of money." Now,
Well, the way Chad Johnson spend money, he gonna make it stretch.
that's what he
Uh,
said. But then when he looked up the cost of living, he kind of changed his tune a little bit over there.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like you gotta research the country you on in. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
You don't want to go where they're using a euro. You know what I mean. Where the dollar is kind of equal to the euro, and the euro,
yeah,
matter
the
of fact,
euro's a little more than
maybe
a dollar. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I said. The
yeah,
euro maybe a little bit more than the dollar, so you don't
yeah.
want to go there. You want to go there where they have rubles or pesos or things
Mm-hmm.
like that. So you gotta research that as well. But the question you were asking, did you think mental health was a hustle? Well, I will agree with you on a little bit of it. Everything is a hustle,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's
Even
true.
you need air conditioner, right? You need it.
You
But
don't need it, but you need it. Yeah, you
the
don't need it, but you
airman
need
is
it.
going to hustle you,
Yes,
on that. You need an
yes.
oil change, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the mechanic is going to hustle you on that. You know what I mean? We're all about making money, inflation. You know what I mean?
Boy,
People are paying $7,500, $200 for a haircut. Do you
boy.
need haircuts? Yes. But, what's the worth of it? And I can say the same thing outside looking in. So you're on the outside of mental health, but you're on the inside of religion. So people on in mental health or science side, well, is religion just a hustle, or really is God in that man and that man, that pastor really touching people and healing them? So they look at what you don't understand, you look at it with the a critic's eye. You know what I mean?
No,
He's like, well,
yeah, because I
uh,
understand. We all grew up. Most of us grew up in the city. I think it's a lot of people that wish they could get therapy, but it just ain't obtainable. Like it ain't affordable. Like
Yeah, but
When you pay your bills, you only got $200 left over. I mean, you can't afford, like, you don't have the option. It just ain't an option for you. You know what I'm saying?
okay, and that's the thing. Until you go, like as an adult, you know what I mean. A lot of stuff that I thought I wouldn't be able to afford. Olive Garden is too expensive until you go in there. Well, Red Lobster is really fancy and it's so expensive until you go in Red Lobster. This ain't that bad. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things like insurance, holding a job, college. College seems impossible. I have to be smart to go to college. But when you take your first class, when you get your little first associate's degree, you realize this isn't impossible, but you don't know until you step in that classroom. And that's how therapy is. You don't know what you need. You don't know how affordable it is until you take the first step and at least research it or talk to somebody
And that's
about it.
what I'm saying. After research, when I seen how much it costs, I was like, man, the average person can't afford $100 an hour of I mean, now you gonna get this stuff online would probably charge you $25 or some AI person talking to you or
You know,
something. But I'm saying like
and
real
that's what I mean.
therapy,
But
real
uh,
therapy, man, is I'm saying relative to for regular
yeah, I
people,
understand.
it's
Mhm.
expensive, man. It ain't cheap, man.
But I mean, there's other ways to
What other
address
way?
the problem in mental health in our community.
But they're pushing therapy. That's what I'm saying. I know it is, but they're pushing
In
therapy
our
though.
community, exactly, you're correct. In our community, a lot of our pastors are PhDs. They got doctorates in a lot of things. You know what I mean? They're bishops and they get all these.
Yeah.
So
You know
getting
the t-
some type of
you know,
therapy,
you know the
uh,
tough part about a bishop
church
is?
or counseling
Yeah.
is a baby step for what works for you. You know what
You
I
know what the
mean?
tough
So
part about being a bishop or just being in leadership over people is? Is they can ask you about something, and you can give them a solid answer, but they still won't do it. And you see them just going through the same circle like a dog biting his tail. You just see it going in circles.
but you're talking about as a bishop. I mean, as a healthcare professional, as a doctor.
Yeah, as
As,
a doctor too. Imagine you telling somebody don't eat this, don't eat that, and they still go eat. I mean, you just see them going in circles. They're not trying to do it, but it's like you see that though. Like I'm trying to give you the solution, but you're not uh executing on that solution. You know what I'm saying?
so some people say that's a mental malfunction. You know what I mean? That's something not connected. I've seen people all on a self improvement journey,
Mm,
getting skills, trying to enrich their life.
mm,
They don't want to do what God said. I'm gonna put this on to the side. You know what? They don't want to do what the doctor said. He says put the fork down. So now you 300 pounds. You don't go to church. You don't diet. But
mm.
guess what? I'm gonna get another degree. You got 3 PhDs,
Boy.
and you're 475 pounds.
Mm.
You don't go to church. You're not. You're just doing the improvement you want to do.
That's true.
uh,
Yeah.
Health first. A lot of people like, well, she's accomplished, well, he's accomplished, he's a doctor, but or you know what? He's a deacon in the church, he's a pastor, but he's 700 pounds. You know what I mean? And he reads on an eighth grade level. You need sometimes you can get something so high, you need to work on other things to kind of balance that out. You know what I mean? But people want to improve on the areas they want to improve. They want to do
Mm.
stuff that's fun. They
Yeah.
do want to do stuff that's cheap. They want to do stuff available. So therapy is one of those things that's maybe a little bit more expensive. You need to do the inner work. Read a book sometimes. You know what I mean? These
Yeah.
information is out there.
Yeah. For
Sometimes
sure.
you can't talk about things that you're ignorant on.
That's
You
true.
don't have enough knowledge in this
People talk about
field.
politics all the time. I know they ignorant on. That's the crazy part
Yes,
about life
yes,
too.
and they're allowed to vote. You know what I mean? Though these people are allowed to shape what the country, their community is going through, but they haven't picked up a book in
Yeah.
17 years,
I just said
and
before
these
you
people are
came
allowed to
on.
vote.
I just said before you came on. They said that there are more women in the free world than men. And you would have thought that the women would have voted for Kamala, but it just let you know that that wasn't the case. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, I mean, I've seen strong, some educated women still don't believe they're women
Wow.
themselves. Women
Yeah.
should be in leadership.
Yeah.
They feel that. They're a woman
Mm-hmm.
and they feel like women don't need to be in leadership.
Yeah.
And they say, well, that's a man's way of thinking. Well, I know women don't trust women in leadership. I
Mm.
know these women personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
smart, we educated, but I don't think we should be in charge. Other countries gonna laugh at us. And I just listen to people, talk. I mean, I don't have an opinion on their belief because that's their
Yeah.
belief.
We're registered independents, man. We don't care about neither side. Oh man. All right, guys. Pick one. You had to pick one: Silk the Shocker or Jim Jones.
I'm going Silk the Shocker
Yeah,
myself.
I gotta go. I'm from the South. I gotta go Silk, man.
You
They
know,
both kind of got the same kind of rapping style. It's not really a rapping style.
yeah. But man, it's like a work of art how Silk put these albums
Oh
together
man.
with these
Oh
lyrics,
man.
you know what I mean, with these features, and people really got it. Jim Jones, the only kind of gangster kind of person and like that you see up front with their crew, but still
Yeah.
had some club bangers that you can sing along with. You know what I mean?
Hey man, that video just be good to me, man, dude. That's where the P was in his prime. Whoever making his beats, they was sampling all them beats, man. Boy, they killed that, man.
Really, really good song. I love
Yeah.
it. I listened to it probably a million times, but man, that ain't rapping. I
And if
love
I
it,
like
man.
it, I gotta get it.
I get it. Then I start house full of
Oh man, yeah, and that album, that first album, I know that first album
oh
probably went platinum too when it first came out, man. So, man.
yeah. I mean,
Dude's a
I love it.
phenomenon.
Listen,
Yeah, yeah, he had a run. He had a nice little run. I mean, a lot of people rock with Silk, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Jim Jones had a run too, man. But like I said, you from the South, man. Like you gotta go Silk the Shocker. He killed it, man. Had his own style amongst everybody. You should take that some kids. He was in a group, had his own style, and still kind of he never really was with it. He just kind of stayed to himself. When you see him on the documentaries and stuff, he kind of was his own man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and I mean, he ain't in jail. He's standing
boy,
on his own. You know what I mean, doing his own thing.
yeah,
He not trying to chase the spotlight. You know what I mean.
yeah,
Touring the same, albums.
yeah. I
After
mean,
that,
Jim Jones had some cold beats when he was with Dipset, though. They did have some
oh
cold beats,
yeah,
but man, Silk the Shocker, though,
and it was a
man.
really good change of pace. You know, what I mean,
Yeah, he was.
with their rapping style. You know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, you know, when you're Silk and you're around this talented organization, No Limit, all these good rappers, everybody's gangster, selling drugs, but you stay in your own lane, you rap confidently the way you rap and being
yeah.
yourself. When you got two brothers rapping, you know what I mean? You got all these good beats, you know what I mean? Mystical was there at the time, you know what I mean? It's a lot of
I
guys.
think he retired early too. I think he retired early too before P and C Murder them did too. I think he got in and got out. You know what I'm saying? Because
And you
he wasn't
got
no. Yeah, go ahead.
another thing you learn from Silk, you got to get out of there when it's time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You ride it, you
because
do
he
your
wasn't on
thing, you live your
504
dream.
Boys or Wody. He wasn't on none of that magic stuff. I don't. When I
Mhm.
just didn't think about it, yeah, where you at, Wody? I'm like, no, he wasn't on that song. No, it was C Murder and them and P was, but yeah, he was out the
And
game by
then,
then. I want to play a song, but I know I get dinged for it. We're going to send the shot code with it. So here's for the young kids, bro. How long does street cred last for?
till you get where you're going, till you get out of the streets. You know what I
Okay,
mean? It's
that makes sense.
it's good to go to your old projects and people still respect you. But guess what? The expiration date
Yeah,
on your street cred, unless you got the money, you move, your environment moves. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Let's say I did some stuff like when I was 20, 18. Everybody I knew grown up. So I go to the same hood, it's youngsters there. You know
yeah,
what I mean? They don't know what
yeah.
I did.
And that
They
happens a
don't know
lot.
all the people I robbed,
I don't know
you know
you
what I mean?
like that.
People I killed. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So my street cred don't hold up with the current. It's like
generation. Yeah,
exactly like it's a president. You know what I mean? I had a lot of say so when Barack was in, but guess what? That's two presidents ago.
right.
People don't remember what I did. When it comes to Trump term, And
Yeah.
that's how street cred goes. Unless you in jail and you got to stay with those people, for
Yeah.
years, man, the credit I got in high school gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You
It's
work
over.
so hard for that, and you keep your reputation or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Guess what? Now you're out of high school. You know what I mean? My homeboy that's a nurse, his high school street cred don't carry. Matter of fact, his college street cred don't carry at St. Vincent. You know what I mean? We're at the hospital.
Yeah.
All these people that he beat
100%.
up at the skating ring, his degree get him more than all the bodies he get dropped. You know what I mean? In college. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of times you want to get high street credit and you want high jail time. That's because that's really what you go when you cash in on it. That's why it was gonna get you. 'Cause like it's like with generations change, a lot of kids don't even know who you are. If you had put in work in '83, your street cred probably expired by now. I mean, the generation in 2024, these kids born in what '95, they don't know who you are. Like I don't know you. You
Even the
gotta think.
OGs of the OGs, like even Big Meech or whatever,
Yeah,
uh, old gangsters tell the young kids stories. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, oh, when BMF was at their prime, everybody had change.
Who was that? Who was
Most
BMF?
of
Who
them,
was that?
most of the
Yeah.
YG, most of these young cats, they weren't in Magic City back then. They don't even really know what was really going on. But
Yeah.
people, it's like a tall tale. They passing it down and passing it
I
down.
don't even know if you can even sell drugs on that level now with all the technology now and stuff and the way the feds are coming to get you. I don't even think you can sell drugs on that scale unless they allowing you to do it to come get you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it's like so. The smarter technology you get for the police, the smarter you got to get as a criminal. Criminals are
yeah,
always two steps ahead. So what we're seeing on TV on BMF, they're not doing that no more. They're doing a whole different thing. Scamming
man.
has changed the game.
Did you see
So
Vlad TV? He was interviewing the dude from Zopound, one of the dudes that started Zopound. He said, "Imagine this kind of deal. How do you negotiate this kind of deal?" He was looking at double life. And he said, I took a 30-year plea deal. He said, I had to take that. I said, man, how crazy do your street cred got to be, man? Double life. It's like, man, 30 years. That's the best we can do, man. Deal, man. And that's the part we're talking about. Sometimes ain't no way out. You're going to sit down. You got to deal with that reality when you get caught. And he did that. He did. I think he did most of those years. He just not getting out. But yeah, facing double life, and he worked it down to 30 years, man. I'm like, man,
and,
fair
that,
time,
and they say that was a miracle. He did. He
boy,
got just 30. So
man, boy. I think he took that. He said when he gave me that 30, man, I took that, man. I had to, man.
and people got to be smart, right?
Yeah.
Watch what states you commit your crimes
Oh
in.
yes,
Um,
yes.
when they're federal, when they're not federal, you know
Ooh.
what I mean? Some
Does
states,
federal matter? What state you in when it's federal? It don't even matter when it's federal, do it?
and you get exactly. So
Yeah,
you
I
get
think federal is
hey,
federal.
sometimes you got to make sure you get tried in your own state. State matters, you know what I mean? Don't go federal if you can. If you get them to drop all your federal charges and you'll
Well, it's
plead guilty
hard.
on the state. Some states only have a certain amount of sentencing
Yeah,
for each crime.
yeah.
But the federal government sometimes they don't got a cap. You know what I
No.
mean? They can give
Mm-mm.
you 130 years 10 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in the 1,000 years. You know what I mean? So, like that boy, he was like he got 15 years old. They gave him 75 years. You know what I mean? Or he got 130 years or something like
Mm.
that. Um,
How you do that,
so
boy? 15.
you gotta watch
Oof.
your state. Watch it like if you're doing drug. If you scamming, you gotta
Yeah.
watch the scamming laws in your state.
Yeah, that's true. Because
You know
when
what I
they
mean?
come, they come. Yeah.
So if you may need to move to Idaho and start scam from Idaho, make your address there.
Yeah.
So kind of be up on the laws. You know what I mean? Because in like New York, it's
Is it stricter in New
120
York
is 120 to life. You know what I mean? But in
for scamming?
Alabama, no. You know what I mean? You got to.
Oh,
It may be 130 years to life, but in Alabama, you know what I mean. The max they can give you for like a cyber crime would be like 17 years or like 15 years or 7 years because the laws haven't caught up in those backwoods places. You got
yeah.
to think sometimes.
I wonder, do they do that though? Like, man, if I can make $10 million and I had to give it to the government, is it worth me doing 10 years in prison? 10 million. Do they think like that? Like, cause I think the scammers, they don't get, like the dude from Enron. I don't think he gave them the money. I think he may have went to jail or something, but I don't think he gave him no money back though.
What's that dude? They got Brad Pitt in them.
You talking about the dude that
Bernie
had the,
Madoff.
the crypto, the
No, Bernie
Brankman
Madoff.
Fried, huh?
Bernie Madoff.
Oh
They
wow,
they got him.
yeah,
They took him to jail. They gave him like 15 years or something like that, maybe 20.
yeah,
He didn't
wow,
give up the money.
no, no.
They already tried him for it. He finna get out of jail and collect.
Sometimes they try to make you pay restitution, but I don't know if you got to pay. If you ain't got the money, how can they prove you got the money? You know what I'm saying?
If
But I don't know how you hide millions. I don't know how you hide millions though. You know, because it ain't hard cash. That's the thing.
You said I didn't take that class. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
somewhere.
I know, right? It's somewhere. Yeah.
You know, everybody was a reason everybody is moving to Dubai with their bank systems. You know what I
Boy,
mean?
move to Switzerland.
They may not play on.
Your...
They may not play on ground level crime, but
yeah,
you know, you transfer that money in there, you good.
Boy, yeah. What's the next slide? Bang! All right, realistic or cap. Kids, y'all really need to understand this, man. This is stuff that people don't talk about as much, right? When you're out in the dating game. National survey. Let me know. This is realistic or cap. 65% of Americans reported having unprotected sex, and nearly 30% of them never use a condom during sex. Is this realistic or cap?
I think we'd all be dead if this was real because people have sex all the time.
You'd be surprised.
You know, I went most of my life. I mean, I probably 95%, you know what I mean, protected.
95%?
Probably 90. Well, I was married for a long time. But
okay.
You know what I mean?
But
like,
when you was dating, we talking about when you was dating. You was 90%.
Yeah, bro, like in my 20s, I was probably at 100%.
Man, 100%.
My numbers went kind of down on like, you know, when the equipment malfunctions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't count. Because I didn't really trust nobody out here, you know what I mean? And I didn't have a girlfriend probably most of my 20s. I think I mean, you know, a lifetime.
What does that mean? That's one thing I think, kid. Well, what does that mean? Girlfriend, dating? Is there really a difference, or?
Yeah, that's a major difference. This a committed relationship. Well, you're not married, you're not engaged, but you know you're committed to be that person, that one person. So, let's say in lifetime, I had 5 girlfriends in my whole lifetime. And I think 2 of them was young, you know what I mean? Yeah, in my adult life.
You talking about when you was a teenager? You gotta be careful how you phrase that. When you was a teenager, they was young, right?
Oh no, when I was young, we were young. You know what I mean? At that point, so I wasn't really doing that back then. So probably lifetime 5, and I may go.
He better than me because my personality just didn't allow it. It was just cold. I think I only had maybe 2, maybe 3. That I said was my girlfriend, and one of them I married. So, but the rest,
that's what I'm doing. I'm like 1 now, married, and then there was like 2. That's like 2 lifetime. You know what I mean? So like before these.
I think this is real, man. Like when you think about the streets, when you in the streets, I think it is. I think it is. You looking at it from your perspective. You said you was 100%. When you really been in the trenches. Man, listen.
Well, I worked in emergency room.
I did too. And I'm telling you what I saw. I
part-time did a women's clinic. You know what I mean? If 65% going raw,
that don't mean you're gonna get burnt because you go raw. That don't mean you're gonna get burnt every time.
No, I mean it don't. But 65% going raw, AIDS ain't real. If 65%, if 65% of people is out there raw dogging.
Now here's the question: how many people out there that got that package that you don't know about? That's the question.
More people, like if 65%, more people would have that package.
I think more people got their package. They just not saying it though. I think more people do got their package.
They would have that house in Virginia, but
they do. More, I think it's a lot more people that got it than what's reported.
But now it's not a death sentence, and if you report it, or you go, you got to realize how many people don't have primary care doctors and they
Yeah,
don't get checked out
right,
anyway. I
right. That's
knew
what I'm
this
trying to
girl.
tell you. Yes.
This girl, 39, she
So
40
even
years
though
old.
even though you used the condom 100% of the time when you was younger, how many girls asked you to put one on?
Now,
You just did it yourself. That's what I'm saying.
that's the point.
I know, right? Exactly. How many girls actually look to see if you put one on? Because most of the encounters are not like y'all sit down to bed. Okay, you got it. Let me see you put it on. That's
But
too much
would
like
you
right.
really, are you engaging with women that would like, they're so strange that they would want, they don't know you enough to like watch you. It's like, I want to make sure you put it on. You know what I mean? If a woman don't trust you like that, why is she having sex with you
So,
anyway?
if you do a one night stand, do you do a one night stand? Do you really trust each other?
Yeah. Now
I'm just
you're
saying. I'm
suicidal.
asking your question.
If you go to the club on the hill, you meet somebody. You know what I mean. You go to Jazz's. You know what I mean. You walk out, you meet her that night, and you cut in the parking lot, and you go raw dog. That's
You don't
suicide. You know what I
you don't
mean.
think so you don't think that's part of that 65% dudes ain't doing that? You don't think dudes rolling the dice? You don't think dudes rolling the dice? There's some people that's an
Be
adrenaline rush.
careful. No,
There's some
guess
people
what?
that's an adrenaline. I should have got the
Be-
adrenaline rush.
People be careful out there because you have people living for the rush. You know what I mean? You straight, but they ain't. You know what I mean? And yeah, we have drugs to protect. We got prep. We got all kind of things that'll keep your. I think they say your Bible count low, keep you undetectable. Be thankful for people. It ain't worth it. You know what I mean?
Let us know in the comments what you think. 65% reported, and it said 30% of them never use a condom during sex.
Somebody seen this girl.
30%.
Bulldogs with big booties. You know what I mean?
Uh,
They keep the hood populated. Everybody, they
I
stay.
mean, think about if it was lower than that, we wouldn't have been a lot of pregnancies and stuff like that. Teen pregnancies. The women rights thing probably wouldn't even be as big if that was the case. There's a lot of dudes out here. I think there's a lot of dudes out here going raw. They just ain't. It is not just dudes because the girl has to allow that to happen. That's the thing too. It's a two-party thing. You can't just
Yeah.
blame one
So,
person. You know what I'm saying?
on the women, they're supposed to be so smart, so
Boy,
educated now. You know
so
what I mean?
mature. Yeah.
And you let Willie Lump, get in there raw. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, it's okay to have fun. You live your life. You know what I mean? Have your girls nights. Have your phase that you're going through, but you got to be safe in that phase. You know what I mean?
I think it's realistic because when you in the trenches, you realize like how stuff go. Man, it's people out there that can't even afford to buy condoms, but they're out there having sex though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's impossible.
saying?
I see people stealing condoms all the time in Walmart. You know what I mean?
And they probably
Yeah,
ain't even using them. That's the crazy.
you're gonna
So it
risk
says
jail time if you're not
65%.
using it.
It's a national survey. 65%, over half. I believe it.
I
I
don't
believe
believe
it,
it.
bro. I
I don't
believe it.
believe it.
I
That's
believe. I
impossible.
think it's realistic. I don't think it is because there's more people. You go on YouTube now. People even talking about themselves. Got the house in Vegas. They telling their own stories. It's crazy. Got the house in Vegas. Then the stuff you don't talk about, like you look like you got a Kalashi. He's so swole down,
Yeah,
down there
I mean,
playing around.
I seen some stuff
There
just
was in Houston. What was that in Houston? There says an epidemic down there or something. Was that where it was? Houston?
yeah, and then people going to these big cities. You know what I
Go to
mean?
like what was it called? The Essence Festival? I heard stories. I never went to it, but I heard the stories though. They just come there for that one time. You think they using rubbers every time?
On that, you should. I mean, this ain't
Yeah,
this ain't.
you should,
You
but
don't
I'm
never
pretty
see them.
sure they.
You don't know their last name. You don't know their middle name. That's like going on a cruise and just meet. That's Willie from 3B. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, pretty crazy, man. And I'm pretty sure it's different kind of circles of what you're looking at. But I know man, woman stuff. I don't know about the other stuff. Man, woman stuff. I know being in the trenches when I was younger, you'd be surprised, man. How many girls would just ask you if you out of 10, if you just did out of 10, even if you can get up to 10, that's a lot. That's actually a lot. If you did have 10, how many of them actually, hey, you need to put that on? You know what I'm saying? So what you think, like 3 out of 10? I'm talking about ask you, not you do it. I'm talking
No,
about
well,
ask you.
personally, I didn't have
You did
relations
it.
with women that really didn't know me really well. You know what
Oh,
I
so
mean?
you never did a one night stand?
I mean, I didn't say that, but
Oh, okay.
I don't think I did.
Because if you do a one night stand, technically you don't know each other. That's kind of the
Yeah,
thing
like
of a
I
one
don't.
night
You know
stand.
what?
just you really rolling the dice all the way. You rolling the dice all the way.
Now, but like, what's considered like a one night stand? Like, I meet them tonight, I hit tonight, and I never see them again,
Yeah.
or
However
I
you
can
want to
be,
play it.
or I'm talking to them for weeks or months. I hit it one time and never hit it
Even
again.
if you talk to them for weeks or months, do you really know them, or are you playing speed dating to try to go ahead and get it done? To try to
Uh,
score. You really
I
don't
really
know them.
maybe I don't really know them, but they really know me because I'm a genuine person all the time, and they knew me well enough to
Oh.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Let us know in the comments what y'all think. Do 65% of Americans are they out there having unprotected sex? Because I'm telling you, it's crazy out there, man. People out here getting that house in Vegas, man. And you can't recover from that, man. I think you just what drop the count pretty
yeah.
much,
I mean,
but it's not gone. We just dropped the count.
you don't but you can manage the side effects and things like that, the negative effects. Magic Johnson lived a long time.
That's Magic Johnson, man. Nobody got Magic Johnson money though, man. Talking about regular person. We talking about you talking about Dikembe and Walmart, the people greeter, man. He get the house in Vegas, man. It's a wrap, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard, man. All right, man. Let us know in the comments what you think. The last slide, then we getting out of here. How does a man determine compatibility with the woman? How does he determine what's compatible? Like, what are some of the keys a man need to look for? Like personality, like what's compatible with his personality? What you think? If you was talking to a young kid, probably like what, like 18, 19, talking about he wanted to get in the dating game or whatever, which is
Uh,
dangerous. Now I can't even imagine that. I don't know how you doing it. That's probably pretty dangerous, man.
I think spiritually you got to align. You know what I mean? You believe in God, they don't believe in God. That's a big conflict.
How, how many girls ask you that when you date them? Like, do you love God or do you believe in God?
Yeah,
How
I
many
guess
girls?
we in the South. It's like too many.
They ask you that?
Yeah.
I don't think my wife maybe the only one that kind of asked me that, but when you,
But you know what? Maybe they saw the eye of the tiger. You know what I mean? And they saw, you know what I mean. You wouldn't probably
yeah, I
long
did believe in
term.
God. It's just I guess I didn't want to do the things that God wanted me to do when I was younger, though. It's just like I
Yeah,
believe in God, but I'm still gonna score this touchdown though. But I do
yeah.
believe
You
in
know what I
God, though.
mean. I'm gonna need him to be with me all the time, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of strict over there, but
boy.
God. Maybe God is grading on the curve, but like spiritually, get that in line because somebody can line up financially with you, work ethic, education, but you know what I mean. She want to be a Jehovah Witness, and she trying to get you to do field service,
Mm,
uh, and you are Pentecostal, and you are like you shaking in the aisles. You know what I mean. You shouting, you doing all this, and
yeah.
they in church being quiet, and then you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. And they say somebody else is going to hell because they believe in God in a different way. This cause turmoil in your house. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you a woman, somebody don't want to work at all, and you woman, I understand. Some men don't want their women to work. That's fine. But if you got a man that is not working, you know what I mean,
Is
and
that a
you,
double standard? Is that a
yeah,
double standard?
of course. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's an acceptable double standard that people have.
I like that acceptable double standard. I like that. We got to
Yeah, I
start
mean
using
that's
that word.
it's like that's just one of those things. You know what I mean? So we got to go with it. That's
Yeah.
where we live in. So like
Yeah.
spiritually, financially, gotta be on the same page. You don't have to be equal.
Even
You
mentally
don't
how
have to
you handle
have the
certain
same
things,
view.
right? How do you handle certain things? Like how do you resolve certain things? You got to be on the same page sometimes, Some people something happen, they just can't let it go. And then some people be like, man, it happened. We got out of it. Let it go, man. Move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And then some people, they just overthink it. They just keep, they can't just let it go like that. You know what I'm saying? That may not be, maybe it's compatible because y'all opposite. But if y'all both think that same way, that could be dangerous.
So that was a good point too. So being on the same page doesn't mean you have to be the same. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Sometimes
right.
that high strung, detail oriented person, it's their way to highway,
Yeah.
needs an easy going person
Mm-hmm.
to be with, because if I'm my way of the highway and you're my way of the highway, we're gonna butt
Boy.
heads all the
Yeah.
time. Why
Ticking
are we
time
together?
bomb. Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You need to. It's a positive and a negative makes the whole complete circuit. So one person each battery got a post. So one person can be the other one, the positive and the negative on different situations. You know what I mean. You can't
Yeah.
just because y'all work good together doesn't mean you have to be the same. You know what I mean. We gotta
Right.
both be Cowboys fans. You know what I mean. Now
Yeah, for
somebody
sure.
gotta have some sense.
Financially, you know, one person really you want to be similar on finance, right?
No,
you
no. Like so,
you want to be
total
similar.
opposites on finances is crazy. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean. It's got to be. You can be one. Can be a little bit more lax. One can be like every dollar, and the other person like, well, I just don't like to spend money. So we got a cheap person. Let's say we got a cheap or frugal person, and we got a person that micromanage is everything and watches every dollar. A real strict budgeter.
Yeah.
So the frugal person, they don't really budget. They're tight. They just don't spend money.
Mm.
They don't work good with that person. Well, I know I can give my wife this amount of money because she don't spend money like that. I'm gonna
Right.
give my wife, you know what I mean, $500 a week,
Mm.
and I know she'll be straight with it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. But if you got a person that's watching every transaction,
Yeah.
and their wife a big spender, he give her
Yeah.
500, she blew through that, and she using an emergency credit card. So
Boy.
that ain't gonna work.
Yeah. And the first thing before you determine compatibility, you got to know yourself, who you are. You know what I'm saying? Are
Yeah.
you a square peg? Are you a round peg? You know what I'm saying? What you got to know where you are. You know what I'm saying? On the
Guess what? I'm a
compatibility
round
chart,
pig. I'm a round pig dressed as a square pig. You know what I mean? You
man.
got to know what that's about yourself. You got to know that about your mate. Hey, I know my girl. She's a round pig, but she put on that square jacket. You know what I
Man,
mean?
that
And I
sounds
treat
so
her like a
weird.
square.
Yeah.
I treat her like a square, but I know, and she know deep down she a circle. So she gonna
Yeah.
act like a circle sometimes. The circle gonna come out when she take off that square jacket. But you got to know that about your mate too. Don't be surprised. Oh well, keep the jacket on. Why are you taking the jacket off? You know what I mean? No, she's a square. I mean, she's a circle when she in the house.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You gotta
Yeah,
yeah.
that's another thing too, right? How they out the house? Like, she want to walk out the house, dressed like Tina Turner, man. The legs out. Some dudes ain't compatible with that. Some dudes are. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes cool with that. Some dudes not. You have to make that decision.
And that's another thing too. That brings up a good point.
Yeah.
Are you cool with what you're attracted to? So you see the girl in
Mm.
the club, she's
Mm.
wearing the short skirts, high boots, showing all that skin. You want her. You're attracted to her, but you
That's a
know
that's a
when you
weird
get
word, but I guess it depends on what you're saying you're attracted for, though, right?
yeah. I mean, but guess what? I mean, like sometimes
Because
you
you could be attracted to somebody just for solely sex, and it ain't got nothing to do with a relationship. But women will say men are more attracted to that, and it's like, nah, I think you're looking at it the wrong way.
okay,
Perspective.
exactly.
Yeah,
They're attracted to that. They have sexual interest in it.
yeah.
But my thing is sometimes you catch what you chase.
Oh, one. It's like bears, right? A hunter, apex hunter. Of course, it's gonna go after the weaker prey first before it goes to the harder prey. You
And
barely
guess what?
find animals that want the harder prey first. They want the weaker prey. You know what I'm saying?
And see,
Sure.
and then things happen when you catch what you chase. So you
Yes.
chase her.
Yes.
You're looking at her for this particular thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ooh, she looks so good. She can't be my girl because my girl can't dress like that. But guess what? You end up falling in love with her. You taste the product. This the best product.
Is
She
it
yeah.
love or lust? Is it
No,
if it is it love
no,
or
no, no.
lust?
See, sometimes things will turn. So you lusting after this thing, and then you catch feelings. Some people catch feelings out of nowhere. They was just lusting. This was just fun. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh, you can have my debit card, you can have my credit card. You know what I mean? This and that.
Yeah.
Now you feel like you love this person, right? And she's
Yeah.
still dressing how she was dressing, and you can't
Boy,
handle it.
you can't
So
change that. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
attracted to something you can't handle. You don't like it. You want her to change her whole personality and stop dressing the way she
No,
was
or
dressed.
is it an insecurity? You know what skill set she has and what she brings, and you don't want nobody else to experience that. Is it like
It's both. Like
yeah.
you've never like a lot of men don't admit this. They see their wife a certain way, right? But guess what? You didn't marry that woman you saw in your head. Now you're trying to marry the actual woman that you have,
On the assumption that she gonna change.
and you're
On the
trying to
assumption.
fit the
Yeah.
woman you have into that mold that
Yeah.
your brain had when you was 8 years old.
Right.
You know you didn't want to marry that type of woman, but you're gonna change her into that. Now you're trying to, or guess what? Maybe an accident happened.
Yeah.
You chased her, you lust after her. Now she pregnant. Now you got the hood rat dressing girl. She pregnant now. You know what I mean? And she a pretty good girl. She make
Yeah.
pretty good money. She a pretty good mom. She does all this stuff that's real good. You know what I mean? You lucky. You found a good one. But guess
So
what?
I got a question
No.
for.
Guess what?
Go ahead.
She's still dressed like that though.
Yeah, I got a question for you and the guys out here. I'm gonna clip this up. I got a question. Would you rather have a sexually experienced woman but no homemaking skills, or homemaking skills with no sexual experience? Which one would you prefer?
Me, I'm going sexual experience because I can do all that stuff for myself. It's possible for me to cook. It's possible for me to clean. It's possible for me to be a father to my own children and clean up after myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not possibly for me to give myself a job
Yeah.
of any kind. That's not possible.
But now, when Mike at 20, when I was younger, I probably would have said the same thing. But being married for 13 years, I realized something is that you can't learn. It has to be in you to be a homemaker for a wife. But you can learn sexual skills. You can learn that over time. You can learn that. You can. You can learn it. You can. You can learn. You don't start out. You don't start out.
Are we
Huh?
dealing with a chimp? We're dealing with a monkey. If I had a
No.
choice of one or the other, I would make that choice. But you said I would make the choice for the homemaker and then teach her to do.
No, not
You
teach her. I'm
basically
just
told
no.
both things.
That's
You told
what
both
you assumed that I said. I'm saying learn from each other, because you're going to learn. You're gonna be with each other for 13 years. That we just talked about that last week. Your levels. You start at level 0 and you work your way up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So, my son doesn't like to clean, so I gotta accept that that ain't in him, right? So, you can teach anybody to do anything, and guess what? It's physically possible. We're talking about possible and impossible. That
Right.
is something that I cannot do for myself. That
What's
is
that?
something I need from my mates,
What's
right?
that?
These emotional and sexual needs. I
Right.
can't feel my own. Sometimes I can feel my own emotional needs, but I'm not feeling my own sexual needs.
But what I'm
I'm
saying
not
is,
doing.
if
Oh,
when you
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's what I. This is what I am saying.
right.
You know what I mean? Um, I'm a grown up. I'm an adult. I can clean the area around me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I can
Home
put gas in my own car. I can do
homemaking
my
is more
own.
than that, though. It's more than that.
Okay, describe to me what home, because we didn't go into the.
Yeah, that's some of what I'm saying. But as far as holding down with the kids, like you can go out and work, and you know that the kids are great in great hands. Like I can leave the house and go to work because I know my wife gonna handle my kids with care. I know it's not gonna be no crazy stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. That's gonna hold the house down. Like if I have to go, work for long hours, I know that when I get home, things gonna be straight.
Now we're talking about like no homemaking skills to the point of negligence. I mean,
Now
my
you just going
April.
to the extreme. Now you want to go to the extreme. That's okay. I get it. That's what I'm
No,
saying. We keep picking
I'm,
the
I
extreme.
mean,
We're saying
no, you, no, you are.
I'm
I'm
not.
saying the opposite of what you're saying. You saying you, the, I think that's basic. If you can go to work and leave the mother of your children with your children for more than 4 hours, you're saying that's like an amazing life skill or a
Yeah,
home.
because when you see the news and stuff, it's not happening like this. A lot of
Yeah.
women out here doing crazy stuff to
So
kids.
now you're talking about the extremes. So
No.
I'm just talking about
Yeah.
what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
I'm going to decide to marry a person that can't be alone with kids. So now, if
How,
it's that, if it's that extreme on the
no, it's
homemaking,
not about. It's
no,
not
no, no.
about being alone with kids. It's about the teaching aspect. Like the woman is
Okay,
the first teacher of the kids, right or wrong.
okay, you're right. No,
And then when women having
I don't.
kids,
That's
the
what I'm not
sacrifice.
expecting to think. The first
I'm not
person
either.
kids. You know what I mean? Like I was, I was involved in my son when he was a baby and stuff like that. Now, so we focus on the homemaking. So if the homemaking, if we choose sex, the homemaking is that remedial. We're different. We're dealing with a
Yeah.
special
Would you
education.
have high
Now, no, no.
sex, low homemaking, right?
Okay, okay. So if you're talking about that level, let's reverse it, right? So you got a
Yeah.
girl with good homemaking. So you mean her sex skills are that trash or inexperienced?
Yeah. There's inexperience. Like inexperience, you can
No, man,
learn
you can't work with
experience.
that. You, I
Yeah,
mean,
you
you
can. You
cannot.
can. Yes, you
When
can.
you were with a girl was like a child, like, oh my god, what is it? Oh my god, is it gonna be that big? Are you gonna put that? What you gonna? I need to do that.
So every girl you met when you was younger had high sexual experience when you before you got married.
They
No,
was like the
no,
work that I got was like a D. You know
no.
what I mean? They weren't all A's, but they was I ain't really
Most
never
the
had
it's, the
even
chances
even when I was a kid, I didn't really get a girl that was like an F.
the
You know
chances
what I
of a
mean?
dude meeting a girl that's in the A or B range in sexual experience when they're younger is even limited. Right or wrong?
Oh yeah, for sure. So you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But I can work with a solid C. I did my best work with a C sometimes. A C student. You know what I mean. I can work with a
But
D.
in my opinion, I think in a relationship, if it's a healthy relationship, y'all both love each other, that thing can develop into something.
Yeah, but when you got love without
They go to
like,
butt. They go to butt.
no, but when you got love without like, and she's frustrated or she's sexually repressed, molested, or whatever,
And
they
that and
not
that
gonna
comes with
want to keep
determining
going.
compatibility. That's come. You got to look at the keys, right? The flags,
But,
right?
but I knew a lot of I've had conversations with old heads. You know what I mean. This was a phobia of mine in marriage.
Yeah.
Uh, Dude saying, "Well, I ain't had sex with my wife. The wife don't work. Dude paying all the bills. He ain't had sex with his wife 3 weeks, a month. You know what I mean? Maybe he have sex with her on payday, and they're in a good place. You know what I mean? Like if your significant other, your wife living in the same house with you, y'all spending time together, y'all going on dates, you paying the bills, and this person does not want to have sex with you, they don't want to be with you, they don't like you.
Hmm.
You know what I
That's
mean?
why I said a healthy. That's why I said a healthy relationship. That's unhealthy. Like that
But
ain't healthy.
people think that's healthy because their bills are
No,
paid,
that's not
the
healthy. It
kids
ain't
are
even
taken care
biblical.
of. You know what
That's
I
not even
mean?
biblical. You know what I'm saying? That ain't healthy or biblical. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Bible say, submit your body, your body belongs to your mate, but I don't really feel that. You know what I mean? What
And
about my
and
feelings?
also said you're not supposed to deny each other because the devil can creep in or whatever. The enemy can creep in. So
But
yeah, for sure.
the enemy's creeping in. But you know what I mean. I don't feel like. What about my feelings? The Bible didn't say nothing about when I don't feel like it.
Yeah. And that's that compatibility because a lot of people, like I say, they can find ways not to do something, but they can't find a way to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And that's easy. It's easy to find a way not to do something. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
So
guys, go ahead.
like is just as important as love sometimes because love will keep
Oh yeah,
somebody
for
with
sure.
you
100%.
unhappy for 10 years, for 15 years for the kids. Love will do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they love you but they don't like you, they'll just stay right there because the obligation and loyalty of love. But
Yeah.
life was tends to make you happy in those loving situations.
Yeah, and you gotta kind of in the compatibility when you thinking about that. Like, is this person, is they solid or they wishy washy? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta see that because most people that's wishy washy like that, they go out of love and like they kind of go between the two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, and it start getting unhealthy real quick because they can't even admit that they doing. That's the crazy part about somebody that wishy washy. They can't even admit what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And if you tell them now, you offending them. You know what I'm saying? Or you judging me now.
it's
It's
just
like,
the way I feel.
you know what I'm saying? So, and
And
this
then
could be
men do it
man or
too. Like,
woman. This could be
eh,
man or woman too. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They,
men get
yeah,
like four brothers. You didn't cook my food. You didn't do this. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, I don't never get what I want. You know what I mean? I just, I want. I seen a dude throw a tantrum because his wife bought him the wrong 4-wheeler. Man, I don't want that. You can take that back. You know what I mean?
Man,
Hey,
I didn't want the camo kind. I want it all
yeah,
black, man. I want
yeah.
the BMF. I want all.
Exactly, man. I'm with the real man. You don't listen to me. You know what I mean? And men will throw that
Oh
little
man.
tantrum. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And say they're a leader and things like that. Well, you don't let me do this. Like, man, last time we let you have control of the debit card. You know what I mean? You went and rented the third floor of the Holiday Inn Express. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean,
With
you
your
got to think about
homeboy.
just like we was talking about the unprotected sex. How many people really talk about the roles and responsibility of marriage before they get married? I know they go to marriage counseling, but outside of marriage counseling, most people don't talk about that, man. They don't even like bring it up because if you talk about it and put it down, now now you got to live up to their
Accountability.
responsibility,
Yeah.
and all people don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
talk about everything but that. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
think you should talk about this before you fall in love with
Oh,
somebody
100%. Yeah.
because when you love somebody, you want to. Even with my son, I know I want his life to be easy, but I
Right.
know he got to do this hard stuff.
Yeah,
He
that's
got
real.
to do it. It's
Got to
hard
do it.
for a reason. He's got to do it. So when you love somebody, you want to take the burden on, especially as a man, you want to take the burden off them. So it's
Right.
hard to have tough conversations. Like I expect this out of you. When you
Right.
love somebody, you know what I mean. You know what? I can let my emotional, mental, physical, or sexual needs slide because I want this other person to be happy. You need to set that expectation before you fall in love with them because you'll start taking shortcuts for them
And
and just
it's an
make the whole
art.
system happy.
Maybe you learn it from dating, I don't know, but it's an art to know how to be likable too. That ain't, it ain't easy, but it's an art to it. Though. I mean, you know, what I'm saying, I think some dudes didn't learn that it was dating, but they didn't understand that likable part. Like, or some dudes do it long enough. I'm guilty of that. You do it long enough with somebody just to kind of get to the
Yeah.
objective done, and then you just go ahead and flip the script. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, being likable, man, is definitely an
And the
art.
cheat
And
code of that,
yeah,
don't be likable beyond your natural personality.
yes,
Because
one
it'll
hundred
start
percent.
feeling like you're wearing a mask all the time, and then
Yeah.
they want you to be on stage all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have down days. You know what I mean? You gotta, oh, well, I gotta be this and I gotta be that. My likable personality is really close to mine. You know what I mean?
You
I'm
think
just
so?
not sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if so, my mask. If I'm having a bad day,
Yeah.
I'll just be myself. I'll be my happy personality.
Yeah.
It's still me. It's just I'm not looking like what I'm going through at this time. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this, just like oh, these people at work, I feel like crap, but I'm
Yeah.
a put on my customer service face for that.
Yeah.
But you cannot be at home wearing your mask all the time, and your mask cannot be that different from you because that's crazy.
That is. Well, there's a lot of crazy people out here, though, bro. Like, we just saw the stat: 65% of people out there, and they're not gonna tell you that they're going raw. You just see by the results. He's like, "How'd you have 5 kids by 5 different dudes?" Guess what? You didn't do that with a condom. You know what I'm
And I know super intelligent women like with babies by the weirdo. You know what I mean?
Oh man, boy.
Just get count
Even
like,
with the dude, she got 4 kids by 4 different
oh
dudes,
my
and you the
god,
fifth dude. Come on, man.
you number five.
God,
Oh
man, if you cough, she gonna get pregnant. You should
yeah,
just have it signed. You know what I'm
and like if she got four
saying?
people before you, you
Yeah,
know it's good. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
She
Certified.
definitely got the skill. Yes. Yeah.
So you don't even
He ain't
play
ready,
around with it. I'm gonna just tip drill it real quick. No,
man. You
dead.
playing around with a B level and you a D level. You don't know
No,
what you doing.
Bro, she be
You
pregnant by
lose.
pregame.
Boy, for real. But yeah, guys, we get ready to sign out this thing, man. We just want to come by and chop it up. Let us know in the comments what you think, what you would like to hear us talk about. Think Your Game Podcast. This is Mike. This is Jay. What you want to say before we get up out this thing, bro?
Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Thanks for watching. See you next week. We are signing out.